don't know. I get really emotional when I start talking about this. Walking down the street. It's a pretty nice night out. The weatherman said it was going to be really ugly. I wish you would call me. No, man, I don't have any cigarettes. Your eyes are just cutting me. Nah, I can't help you out, man. Sorry. Why you gotta be barking at me like that? Feel that way now. We're all animals that want to screw everything that walks. Kill everyone that doesn't do what we want them to do. What should I do? Should I run? I run! What's happening? Crack! I always feel like I've been here before.
Welcome, Hemi Mysterio from Winnipeg, the JW, Jason Reed from the liberal state of Colorado with Skittles government. Skittles government for 300 Trebek. Whacked out government for 300 Trebek. No president for 300 Trebek. Who is running our country? Jawara in the house. Good to see Jawara. He's 2 for 2 of the last 2 live streams. Timmy Kramer, the Forever Bachelor, the Clark Kent of the Manosphere, the bald Clark Kent, another bald one. I was thinking today with my son, we went mountain biking earlier this morning and had lunch, and I said to him, good to see Pedro, that he is living in an unprecedented time. And within the last 2 weeks, what has happened? The cover-up, the conspiracy theorists all said that Biden was healthy. Well, we find out he drops out, only for his DEI hire to now be considered the nominee. I don't know if that will happen. I will get into that today. And the fact that our former president had a whispering piece of lead fly by his and pierce his ear. If he didn't get an ear piercing as a teenager, he sure got one the other day. Europe in the house. Good to see our brother Chad. Europe. The Olympics tasted the rainbow. That's probably one of, let's see, to be the Olympics, you need to be from a single mother. Men need to be liberals and women need to be Skittles. Right? Look at the NBA basketball team. A bunch of liberals running around, or the Olympic basketball team. But what are my thoughts and predictions coming in the next 100 days? We are literally 100 days away from a potential, either way, I believe that we'll see 45 become 47 again. But I can be wrong. I think that the momentum right now, the cover up, everything that they're trying to do, everybody has now seen the media collaborate with the Democratic Party and have been able to, it's been exposed. Now what they're doing now is they're erasing the history, rewriting the history as most women do when they come out of marriages. They rewrite it to suit their narrative, right? Colorado got overrun by friggin' Californians. Yeah, only good Californians are in Northern California. Just kidding. In future, nobody will marry. The hate on men is growing worldwide. Here in Germany is a restaurant where no men are allowed. Interesting. That just, when people do that, when you start to separate between the sexes, that's when it doesn't make things better. Again, they caused it. The Silver Surfer is a bald superhero and is a badass, says Mysterio. Thanks, brother. I heart the 90s is back. So what am I thinking? I believe 45 will become 47. I believe Biden will most likely, if it's not a body double, and I believe he has body doubles. There's multiple pictures of different sized men that look very different. Every president typically has several different body doubles just for security and safety. To throw off the potential, perpetrators and so forth. But I think that I think if Biden is alive, obviously there was some sort of proof of life when he did his, roundtable in the Oval Office the other night, which was an interesting speech. But I think that he will probably pass away from natural causes. I think he's a lot more sicker than most people think. And in that case, Kamala, heels up Harris, Camel Toe Harris, whatever you want to call her, cackling Kamala. She will be installed, obviously, as the president. Now, there's I've heard all wide scenarios where she would be installed. It would still go to 47, but she could make some issues within the last 100 days, maybe 90, 80, 70 days. Who knows? I believe 45 will become 47. We're going to see some issues with that party. And people are saying, with what happened in Butler, Pennsylvania, that gave a boost. But what he needs to focus on, obviously, is all the failures of the Biden administration, all the great things that had happened during our economy. Now, was he right and was he perfect? No. We have a gigantic debt issue in the United States, and the debt issue will affect every country in some form or fashion. Well said, Europe. Total MK Ultra. He's not running the government. That we don't have a president of the United States. We have a committee that's running the government. Liberal Socialist Committee members. Timothy Sokol from San Pedro. A society that allows their women to run wild, empowered, and with no accountability is a society that will fall and fail. Look what happened to Rome. Do you have respect for Biden stepping down? I do. I think, he was forced out. That's about. He should have never run in the first place. But hey, it's not a bad thing. Obviously, if he would have stayed in, it would have been a for sure, landslide. We'll see what happens here. John Boston, the legendary John Boston, is in the house. Good to see you. I don't see him making it to November. I bet they replace him with Harris and nominate someone else. Yes, I would agree with that. I think that everyone's jumping on, but they don't like Harris. They don't like Harris. She obviously, when Biden came in, he said he was going to get a color. I want to say, a non-white woman, I think is what he said. Nobody likes her. She sounds. If she speaks on a teleprompter, she's fine. If she takes questions like Trump does, She can't handle it. Biden needs to eat more Snickers. He's probably eating a lot of Snickers ice cream. Major Tom, give it a few weeks in the honeymoon effect. Absolutely. It's a bounce right now. People are like, okay, he's out of the way, blah, blah, blah. They're trying to, again, rewrite history as women do when they leave their marriages. But what we know, everybody knows, we have receipts of everything she has said. She is anti-popo. She wants complete anarchy. She was all about BLM, Seattle, Occupy Seattle. She was all about give the incoming immigrants whatever they want. You know, it was horrible with prisoners. I mean, just look at her track record. But anyhow, she will most likely go to the I think come next month. That's going to be very interesting. Anyone in Chicago can report. That's going to be a shit show with all those Antifas and whack jobs and Skittles descending on that convention. Again, we can talk about this all day long. It's been talked about in the news, but there's been no Democratic. She did not win any nomination. She has been hand-selected by 3 people. That is not democracy. That is communism. I think when Biden talked about putting a blank on Trump, then Trump gets blank, he had to drop out. You might not be wrong, John. Might not be wrong. Good to see JR back. We're heading into a depression that'll make at least one look like a cakewalk. Better prep while you can. Guys, this is why we say minimalistic living. Learn skills. Learn how to live very frugally. Learn how to fast. You might have days where there's no food. Learn how to prep water. Now, are we going to go apocalyptic, prophetic, zombie land? That only happens if there's a world war and there's nukes that are dropped. And when those nukes are dropped, what's going to happen? Nobody exists after 20 minutes, unless you have a bunker. They had to pick Harris, or they would have lost the money in delegates. Well said. She cannot dress, wears a pantsuit. She's Hillary 2.0 when it comes to dressing. She looks stupid. All they have to do is play the electric school bus thing. Timothy, I think you are right on the money. We are going to have a hyperinflation and then a depression just like in the 20s and the 30s. George, good to have you. You're absolutely right, brother. I think we're going to see, just, again, find ways to, unfortunately, here, let's talk about money. Most of our monies are little ones and zeros on our screens. We really have never seen our money, physical money, and it's all deposited in an account with numbers that sits on a GUI, graphical user interface of your computer. Ones and zeros. It's basically phantom if you think about it, unless you go to an ATM or use cash. But that's how we live. We live in a digital world. Money's a huge thing. Crypto was basically set up to bypass all that shit, right? Which was one of the things that they did with crypto. A way to potentially survive in a destroyed monetary world. Cackling Kamala is radical for left clown show. She sure is. When Biden picked her and picked the justice, I said, there goes old Joe and the black vagina being the only qualifications. Yep, shades of Hillary. Mm-hmm. Sure. Big Lebowski learned to adapt off-grid techniques to whatever your current living situation. Save that money. Well said, brother. Stock up on matches. I mean, again, follow your Boy Scout handbook on be prepared. But we all have to use money through digital, through the Visa system, through the SWIFT system, whatever the backbone is. So we're going to have to use it. Have some cash on hand. Have a couple grand. Don't hide it on the mattress. I think everybody knows where to find it. But, have some money laying around that you can use. I've got a couple gold pieces that, again, the only way I can sell my gold is to go to a dealer. It's not like I can break off a little nugget and give it to the guy for a loaf of bread. So even having smaller denomination silver coins is good. Pre-65, I think, we're full silver, if I can remember. Even buying silver. Silver's cheap, $30 an ounce right now, right? They're saying it's going to go to 100. That's a much better currency to negotiate in than gold, because gold, obviously, at that point, it might be $5,000 an ounce. That's really hard to break those denominations up. But then again, a gallon of milk might be $100. Well said, Timothy. Well said. You need only money for yourself, but most men want a lot of money to impress the real force. Yeah, the really wealthy dudes. I mean, look what Mark Skillberg. created. He created he's such a nerd, he couldn't get ladies, so he had to create a business exposing people's insecurities called Fake Book. And that's, he has all this money and he can flex now, great, but he's still a nerd and he still does it for ladies. Kamala would want to make America just like California. Cannot happen. I put my male friends on notice. You vote for Harris, don't effing talk to me. I still don't talk to men who voted for Hillary. Any man that votes for a woman that is a liberal, he's also a victim. The SAS Survival Guide has a lot of great tips, inexpensive and very informative. Well said. Even the Prepared Mind. Big John does this channel. He's all about shit hitting the fan. Learn to appreciate what you have. A lot of money goes into useless things. New smartphone, new TV. Everything must be new every single year. Understand what plants are. Well said, brother. Understand how to just, if you need to eat wild plants, find out which plants you can eat. Find out how to purify water. Find out how to have enough matches, Advil, Tylenol, water filtration tablets, things like that. Learn how to sleep on the ground. Learn how to be able to create structures. We don't know. I don't think that'll go that route. I could be completely wrong. There's a lot of potential issues of people talking about the end of the world. But, if it's the end of the world, everybody will be sending, those type of products that Oppenheimer film talked about, nuclear bombs. And nobody lives. If all these things come to pass, there'll be many just checking out to the Almighty. Probably. You never know. Polska just got a new car, drove here from the Bahamas. You got a bitchin' Camaro. Ask me how. Speaking of milk, ran in this woman and she was saying how bad inflation is. I said, you will need a wheelbarrow to buy a gallon of milk with these tax. Learn how to eat very frugally. Cans of tuna, saltines, peanut butter, water, things that can last a long time. You guys see the Olympics opening? They used the Looney Tuning fork. I have not seen it. I have heard about it today, Shinobi. Good to see you, our Kiwi. The best investment is to buy a good bed because sleep is the most important thing for your health. You're absolutely right. Yeah. Christian is back. Good to see you. We're talking about predictions, Christian, with this year and beyond. Damn it, how much did I miss? Not much. A few minutes. We're talking about what happens when a particular person has resigned his candidacy and another person is going. I think the convention is going to stir shit up. I could be wrong. Apparently, Big Mike and Barry B.O., also known as Barry Obama, Barack Obama, or BHO, endorsed her. The Clintons have endorsed, so she's got all of the power brokers. But you don't know what can happen. Timmy Kramer says zero debt, strong shoulders, cook your own food, learn how to fight or run. That's another thing, self-defense. Best fight to be in is to run away from it. Donuts on your lawn. It's a great song. Good evening, Rad and fellow buddies. Ian Blades is back. Good to see you, brother. When Trump gets in, they're going to cause all types of chaos like we had with blank. Well said. Oh, yeah. We haven't seen anything yet. These Trump deranged Skittles people are going to go nuts. And that's when guys really need to happen. And if it goes the other way, if the election is stolen again, or people have that thinking that it was not run properly, then there's going to be shit. That's going to be a shit storm on the other side. Now, if 45 got his ear pierced and his head pierced 2 weeks ago, we would probably been in an all blown out issue right now. That was my prediction. I predict an Epstein List 2.0 or big dealer, hot dogs and pizzas taken out, or jail to, you might not be wrong, brother. There's stuff going on behind the scenes. Will there be a false flag? Will there be an October surprise? Really, what can they do to Trump now? Seriously. They're going to continue to try to look what Iran has said the other day. They had an intel that they wanted to take out 45. Peace in a stressful life, being single is a blessing. Yeah, and know your lands where you're at. Know the mountains. Know the bug out places that you can get to. You got it, Jr. You know what's interesting about BO Barack Obama? Wait for the diddlers list. He came out of nowhere. Like all of a sudden, there's a black guy that looks like the dude from Mad Magazine, and he's now the president. Where did he come from? Like he was literally grown in a lab. Friend of mine bought a brand new Porsche. I cannot believe how much money he spent on a damn car. He wants to impress the lady. Shades of Hillary would be that. Would that be a punk rock or a metal? Shades of Hillary. Punk rock. My prediction is they let Trump win, then 2020 massive financial collapse that Trump cannot stop, and they point at him and say he's no messiah. Vote the almighty Dem. I think that they have an idea that it's going Trump. I think they do. There's no way they would put some dipshit heels up Harris in. I find that so stupid. Like seriously, Ian. They've talked about Big Mike for president. I don't think she'll do it. I don't. Yeah, and they're like, if she gets it, no, what? How would she win it? She's so likable because she goes on Ellen DeGeneres show. I think in 10 years, a lot of women will regret blank and want to marry again and be submissive. There's a Bible verse, possibly, but I think the problem, Europe, and you can disagree with me, but the programming is already set in stone. It's going to take generations to get back to thinking that women want to be companions and they want to be behind the kitchen sink making me a sandwich. Europe, stress shortens lives. Best to avoid it as much as possible. Well said, George Orwell. Also, I predict new book, 50 Shades. You might not be wrong, Shinobi. Rad, don't disrespect Mad TV. I like Mad TV. I'm just saying he looks like the whack job. My friend just bought a $78,000 Beamer. I think it's a mistake, but it's his money. You can buy a nice vehicle for 15 to 20 grand if it's Toyota or Lexus. I predict McDonald's will be only for the rich people. Inflation is going up like crazy. Well, they're trying. I just saw the CEO of McDonald's saying that they're trying to bring down $5 value meals, and the owners and operators getting pissed. They're like, we're losing money. What happens? How do we stop it? Do we stop it and so we get oil so cheap that to ship goods and to produce goods on energy gets cheaper? I don't think we're going back. We're not going to see prices of soda pops back to, $1.29 for a 16 ounce. They're $2.99, $3.49 now. If Trump loses to Harris, it's going to be a blank. Did they put that movie with called Civil War? According to Alex Jones, everything that the globalists do, the Klaus Schwabs and all those people, they have a game plan they put into motion before it happens. Could be a movie, it could be all sorts of things. Ian Blade, she is maybe a black lady. Potentially. It's a value meal at McSchlonald's is like $14. The time is approaching where you're going to have to, let's see, Timothy says, have to pick a side hustle up. Sure. And have some skills. Learn how to paint. Learn how to, be a landscaper. Things you can do with less, not so much of an investment. She's still like an 84 OJ. We know how she got to the top, by laying down. $5 for Axe body spray or €5. Wow, that's a lot. I'm about to buy a suit of samurai armor. I'm sure I'll keep it longer than any card can last. There you go. I think worldwide they want to destroy the middle class. Only poor rich people exist. Yeah, well, that's how it was back in the old medieval days. There were no middle class. It was the rich and the poor. I think after they let Trump win, they can throw the shitstorm and economic collapse and just blame it all on him and Republicans' way of thinking and policies. There's a potential that I've heard some things that Biden and Trump might not be above ground come November. Right? And what happens then? We still have the pound in the UK. Joe Biden has vacationed at Larry Fink's house on Nantucket for decades. Fink is the CEO of BlackRock. That idiot who blanked Trump was in a BlackRock. I saw that. He's a patsy. Multiple different deleters that day, all set up. This is not, it doesn't take, with all the technology and cell phones and cameras everywhere, complete setup. The biggest killer is a nagging, always complaining wife. She'll stress the hell out of you, and you get no sandwiches. Stay single, make your own XXX sandwiches. Attaboy. I personally bought on Bring a Trailer Flawless 2003 Beamer with 50K. Seller was in Scottsdale. Yeah, how's it? It's a nice car. Again, you got a nice $45,000 car in 2003 for $8,400. Dumbest purchase a man can make is one to try and impress a woman. And how many men do that? Men should be preparing for a potential collapse of society. We're already preparing men for collapse of marriages and relationships by saying don't get into them. Now we're prepping physically, outside, economically, spiritually. Know your trails around your house. Know areas. Right? Sounds like my ex too. Salute people and stay MGTOW, says Coach Lamont. Good to see you. It's unfortunate that they propped up a man, Joe Biden. He has a horrible record. The guy he lied about everything. Weird dude, but yeah, I feel bad for his senility and he has Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and all that shit. And, you know, they shouldn't have done that. They should have done the smart thing and, you know, not ran him. They're saying 5 years ago in 2019 he was having cognitive issues. Go figure. The problem with German cars is the maintenance costs a fortune unless you're a mechanic. Yeah, the parts are expensive. All those MAN products, MANN. I had 3 BMWs. Nothing more prepared than owning some armor. Coach Lamont, prepping and MGTOW goes together. I mean, MGTOW is minimalism. It's living a peace, quiet, freedom life. That doesn't mean going out and spending thousands and thousands of dollars on things. We don't need much as men. This is how our brains are different. We don't need a lot. We're content with 20-year-old pairs of jeans, you know, T-shirts with holes in them, socks with holes in them. I mean, really, that women complain all the time. They meet these guys on dating sites and they look, you know, they're wearing dad jeans from 20 years ago. We don't need a lot, right? Biden should join the Ninja Turtles. Master Splinter. There you go. George, do the maintenance yourself. Everything is available to you on YouTube. Yeah, you can do a lot. I fix cars. I have no problem doing that myself. It's a wonderful thing of YouTube. There's so much education you get. Do you think the pendulum will ever swing back as far? I think the pendulum is swinging back, Ty. Great question, by the way. But we still have a disgusting, filthy foundation of wokeness that is completely rewriting everything. So, no, it's going to be even worse. The division is going to get even greater. My predictions. I mean, look what they just did to the Capitol. Spray painting monuments and limestone and shit like that. And they didn't do anything. If 45 becomes 47, which I think is going to happen, you're going to see more civil unrest, more courthouses like in Oregon beat the shit out of, which is my hometown. Disgusting to see what these little skinny, lack of testosterone Skittles kids will do and then run back to their parents' basement in the Northwest. And the parents are ultra liberal hippies too. So until it happens to them, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Self-reliance, well said, Big Lebowski. Dr. Jill is so power hungry. When I think about her now, I laugh. She's annoying. They're all annoying. They all have stupid degrees. Gone with John is back. Good to see you, brother. We don't have much time left. Gone with John. John runs a couple channels on power washing. That's a great business to get in. You know, people want their sidewalks washed, their houses power cleaned, or soft washed, and so forth. And it's not that much to get involved. You might need a pickup or an SUV, a van, and a pressure washer. But cash business, not a lot, right, Gon? Right, John? I've been wearing my clothes for years, even have a cool jack of my granddad's. No compliments. Just got a new coat. 3 compliments from women. I wear it out now. There you go. I like Quicksilver flannels. They still stylish and they great. I think they're made well and they fit me well. And I've got 12 of them. And I think I add one a year. So I still like the ones I have. I don't need a new yellow and blue plaid. Although they do come out with cool stuff. But not t-shirts. You go through t-shirts. Very minimalist. I can put all my clothes, if I needed to, in a suitcase. Shorts, a couple pairs of jeans, lots of flannels, military coat, all good. Jason Reed says, a society cannot stand when it keeps pumping out brainwashed idiots from the so-called education system. The left is playing the long game. I think they understand. And Newsom is not going to be the pick. I don't think Shapiro from Pennsylvania will be the pick. The only way he would be the pick is because if Pennsylvania is that much. But again, most of her followers hate Israel. Josh Shapiro is a religious. He's a religious man in his Jewish faith. So that will cause huge issues within the massive woke nut jobs. I don't think that's going to be. Pete Buttigieg, that guy's an idiot too. Can you imagine those two on the ticket? Fine, 1%, 3% of the Skittles votes for him because he's Skittles. Great. He's an idiot. I think it's not going to be Whitmer. She doesn't want, I don't think anybody wants on that ticket, to tell you the truth. Who would want to get on that ticket? All the shit show the Biden administration has done? No. But if they do, I think the guy in Kentucky, I just saw some poll that he's like 15% possibility of being on the ticket. But I think they would put him in. But I could be wrong. A society cannot stand when it keeps pumping out brainwashed idiots from the so-called education system. Education has turned into such a friggin' woke playground. You won't get creation when you teach revolution. There you go, Shinobi. One mighty and strong. Saul Alinsky. All those idiots from the 60s, the 50s, the radicals. At least Trump's calling them out. One mighty and strong's back. Good to see you. JC all the way from Texas. Careful with that heat out there. Those grids going down. Let's go, Brenda. Oh, that's funny. Let's go. Heels up, Harris. The pictures of Kamala's Indian family are going to be popular. Her own father came out against her. Oh, who knows? Maybe Warren. They got to go to Bernie. Can you imagine a Kamala Bernie ticket? 2 radicals. Not going to work. You have to have some sort of moderate on the ticket. Everyone knows she's a leftist radical. She's whacked. Everything she said, it's all on the internet. They cannot run cover for her. She has said some of the most idiotic, radical things. BJ, good to see you, brother. That is the reality. We're going to see 47 as 45 will become 47, my predictions. As Ty has said earlier, they're going to blame the potential economic. Can Trump fix the economic collapse? Maybe. Just because he's Trump doesn't mean he can turn everything around. He's going to have a shit show to deal with. What can he do? Open up drilling. That's going to help, right? Because shipping is an enormous amount of cost, fuel and energy to build, create, and deliver things. So if we get back to cheaper gas, that might help, but we're still dealing with all those fucking entitlements. All those checks that we got that nobody, again, added to every 100 days, there's a new trillion added to the debt. I mean, that's not sustainable. We were always told growing up, at least I was, hey, you teenagers in the 80s, you're not getting Social Security. Get over it. Ian Blades, she got her position on her knees. I wonder if she got a new pair of knee pads from Willie Brown. There you go. Drill it. Instead of them reopening the insane asylums, they're going to use the school system to infect. They're already doing that now, Big Chris. Good to have you, brother. Shinobi, can you vote your way out of this mess? The world is watching. Again, what happens to the U.S. has trickle-down effects to every country in the world. If Harris says she will cancel the Trump tax cuts that are going to expire, it's game over for her. Oh, sure. She's going to do that if she gets in. Curing insanity with insanity. I don't think she's getting in, though, John. Major Tom, tariffs to bring back manufacturing. Kamala Harris pretending to be black to win favor. One mighty and strong. Well said. Therapy, the new religion for anyone. It is the new religion. It's ridiculous. Single mommies draining the system, says Juara. Think about this. You know, if you're in China and if you buy something off eBay or Amazon from China, they don't have to pay shipping. It's free. Did you know that? It's free to ship. Trump is going to have to make massive layoffs of federal employees, cut Department of Energy, Housing, Urban Development. Well said. All those entitlement. Why do we need a Homeland Security? We have the Department of Justice. Can't they do the job? I'm a country boy from the mountains with too many blank, and I'll be damned if I'm helping any of these woke idiots when shit hits the fans. Will Adventure Chronicles. Good to have you, brother. Lego my ego, right? It has to be the most plain Jane white woman or man ever as her running mate. Yeah, it's got to be a white guy. It's got to be. 2 women now. I have stupid liberal friends who say Trump is going to cancel SS. I said, no, you idiot. Kamala will, and give it to the illegals. Look, what's happening on the border is unfortunate that people come to this country thinking they'll have a better life. Well, that might have been said 20, 30 years ago. It's not a good life anymore. Even Americans can't even take care of it. That's why people are going to Mexico. They go to different countries, which is cheaper. Yep, that's what he said on day one. You have a woman who was a DA who kept men in jail. She put many black men in jail. Screw her. She is terrible. And she wants people to donate to Antifa. Well, look at Kamala Harris. She was getting nailed by Willie Brown, total San Francisco thug mayor. And guess who he married? Guess who she marries? That weird liberal skittle. He's got sugar in his feet. Her husband. The first, what's he called? Mr. What do they call if it's Madam President, what would be the husband? What would be his name? I don't know. But the guy's a Skittles. It shows you the red pill right there. She's an alpha widow from Willie Brown, and she marries the safe guy that she can run. I mean, we are seeing everything that we talk about within the government. We're seeing red pill is government. It is relationships. It is education. It is finance. It is programming. All of those. We're seeing it now. Men are waking up. This is a superpower we have. JW, the first cuck. That's great. I love it. We will acknowledge him as the first cuck to horizontal president. There's no way American can ever repay its debt. It has to move to an entirely different currency, or some catastrophic collapse has to happen, I think. If China stops buying our debt, it's total game over. It's got, yeah. Be prepared, men. Kamala supported the Minnesota Freedom Front, which got many of the most violent criminals out of bail. Yes, she did. And she pays off those that destroyed in Seattle Occupy and all that crap. She is an anarchist, unfortunately. Pay your bill, pay your debts. Why the country doesn't? Don't break the law. Why the government does it? They are sure setting a great example for people. Remember, in the Constitution, it was the government feared the people. Now the people fear the government, right? Isn't that what the Constitution says? She swallowed up Big Willie Brown. The first husband. There you go. Idiot. That's the decision of my life, not getting married. And look at the dividends it's paid off. Willie Brown is married and she was banging him. And women will support her as the side chick. There you go. The current regime is irrational and try to destroy our country on the way out. Yes. So is the best life going to be a boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic, no kids and separate resident? Could be, if you want to deal with that. The biggest money killer is paying rent, paying for a car. The biggest killer, the end boss, is a modern woman. She will drain your finances and energy. That, my friend, is truth. There's also some rumors that potentially Trump will be taken out. Obviously, Netanyahu, Bibi, said that what do you say about Iran? That if something happened to the president, it'd be Iran's fault, and then that would start a complete World War III with NUKE S's. Again, the globalists always give you the game plan before it happens. If you subscribe to that thinking. Trump is America first. What part of that don't these pathetic snowflakes understand? Big Chris, you're absolutely right. I keep wondering, show me how he is racist. Show me how he hates women. Show me how he hates immigration. Now, here's an interesting thing. Alex Jones, if anyone has watched InfoWars, he's made a lot of predictions. He made a prediction of the exact weekend Biden would step down, which was last weekend. He made that there would be an attempt on his life at a rally. He also made the next thing that would happen would be a computer glitch. Obviously, they failed the first time, so they're going to put the world in chaos. He also referenced Iran wanting to take out 45 and other things. But he is saying that they're not going to stop trying to take him out. It's their resolve is that much greater. So can we see another JFK going on? Saving money is hard in this groomed consumer paradise. Yep. Chris Mitchell, the Emperor is back. Good to see you, brother. Best life is no female period. Other than that, right? Entertain women at your peril, at your risk or reward. Understand the concepts of red pill. I don't hate women. I understand them. Right. I think I do. Or I actually I understand myself on how to deal with them. The DEI girls in the Secret Service expose just how inept they are at the whole world in an embarrassing way. Oh, they look like fumbling, what do they call them? Fumbling fablinas? I wonder if we'll wear a bunch of more dirt on Harris' surface. We don't know. I'm sure it'll come out. Facts, we men need to live off a grid lifestyle, get prepared for whatever takes place. We got to be Boy Scouts. Got to be Eagle Scouts, whether you're a real Eagle Scout or a virtual Eagle Scout back in the 80s. Know how to tie knots, know how to cook food, know how to make food. Did you hear that the media says that Iran wants to take out Trump? They're lying. These are 23-year-olds, maybe, probably. You know, it's all fake news, right? It's all fake news. It's all false flags. It's all sorts of things. But Alex Jones believes that he actually on his webpage he was giving Trump some advice to not shake anybody's hands, because apparently they can put a fake hand on it, fake rubber hand, prosthetic that looks real. He goes to shake it, it's full of fentanyl or cyanide or something that would go straight into him with such high potency that he would be out in 2 minutes. Interesting. He comes up with some very interesting things. They don't want to teach saving in school because, Shinobi, the financial system lives off debt. They love debtors. Banks love debts. The banks run the world with petroleum. What is the greatest existential threat to humanity? It's the continuation of the full bandwidth of human nature. Future, the poor suckers have us authoring their conditions. One thing about hitting 50, it's like, man, I made it 50. Man, I made a half fucking century. What about my boys? Are they going to make it? Or your kids? Are they going to make it to 50? Or is Rev? Good to see Rev. Rev's 40. Is he going to make it to 50? I could say, I always said to myself, I just want to make sure my kids knew me. Like if something happened to me, I passed away or something, that they would have known their dad. And I, they know their dad. I could go out tomorrow and I would feel content knowing that my kids knew me. If you can't live alone as a man, you'll get effed in life. Well said, Europe. The courts are insane. The courts made up palimony where the men have to pay alimony if you have a girlfriend. They're just changing the laws, man. It's simple to see that there is a war on men that has been talked about for the last 3 decades, if not more. I wonder what Harris' argument will be. She's colored and she's a black woman. Well, is she black? She's half Asian and half Jamaican. With Jamaican obviously has African blood in their system. I guess she would be half black, half Asian. Blasian? Yeah, if you say you don't like, this is what they do. If you say you don't like her, you're one of three things. Fascist, a bigot, a hater, No, I don't like her. She's worthless. Rev's living in a van in Fort Knox, Kentucky. Attaboy. 50's coming up. 2020. Rev, you're that old? I thought you were 10 years younger than me. 48. Well, you look 10 to 12 years younger. JD Vance hammering Harris right now in St. Cloud to a packed stadium. Trump wins Minnesota. It's over. Isn't it interesting that there's like 5 crucial swing states that decide the election? Minnesota, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, Nevada. Is that right? Or Arizona? No, Nevada. Interesting. Whenever it gets to Utah, everybody knows Utah is a red state. For now. JD Vance, I like him. I mean, is he perfect? He's a young guy. I like the fact that he served in the military. There's all these fake shit coming out. I saw his movie. Thought his movie was pretty well done, the acting. But, I don't know the guy. I've only seen what I've seen. Who knows? Could be a total shit show. Modern women are ticking emotional time bombs. If she feels that she doesn't like you anymore, you will lose everything: job, house, your kids. Divorce, we don't recommend. The way to stay out of a divorce is not to get married or to live with a woman. Trump wants to end the chaos and bring our soldiers home, to heal and bring jobs home. Well said. Create more job and opportunities for Americans and make money. What's so bad about that? The military-industrial complex, which is basically now a derivative of the Democratic Party, loves war. Makes them rich. I am so BS that New Hampshire may go blue again, but effing Massachusetts libtards moving over the border and bringing their politics with them. They'll never learn. Again, what did Michael Savage say? Liberalism is a mental disorder. If you are liberal, you are mentally ill. It's as simple as that. Or mentally disordered. Latest news article from MSN was, will men vote for Harris or not? I don't think they will, unless they're Skittles or liberals. I saw a YouTube video of 2 Skittles saying that they're so fed up with their party that they're going to the Conservative Party. I mean, if you see Bill Maher now calling out his anti-woke other party members, he's going off on them too. The Democrat thinking now is so woke that even normal Democrats are like questioning, what the hell happened? I can't stand that hawk to a girl. Can she just go away? 1975 here, knocking on 50's door. People think I'm 30, never married, no kids, no girlfriend, no gray hair, no stress. Walked away when I was 18. Attaboy. You're going to be 50 years old next year. It's a wonderful accomplishment. I hope when you all hit 50 that you do something nostalgic. I climbed Mount Timpanogos on my 50th. Started at 4 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. 8.5 miles up, 8.5 miles down. Second largest peak in Utah. You got to do something big on your 40th, your 30th, your 50th, your 60th. I jumped out of a plane when I was 30. That was my big deal. 40, I rode a huge skate ramp. 50, I hiked Mount Timpanogos. Now, maybe I go 55, 60, 65, 70. Just turned 57. Attaboy. John Boston, born in 1967. If you stay single, you will pay 75% less money on everything. Absolutely. You don't need a lot of money to live if you do not have a woman or kids to deal with. Now, if you're dealing with child support, that's a different story. But when they get older, your funds will be more. You'll have much more because you don't have to buy all that crap. Most debt is incurred through relationships. Outside of the business side of it, most debt, houses, cars, expensive vacations, expensive Christmases, right? So those are my predictions. 47 will be the 45 becomes 47. All hell's going to break loose. There is a potential. Obviously, I'd say 80. I'm 80% convinced that the Don will be in office, but there's a 20% chance he could be taken out. The 20% chance that they could pull a fast one. We can be bamboozled. We come under martial law. I mean, there's all sorts of crazy scenarios. We have 100 days to go, the most crucial 100 days ever in our history. George just turned 64, brother. Happy birthday last month. Life goes by fast. Should I get married at 50? That will be so epic. That is your big moment. Get married at 50, Rev. It's a great question. Rev stayed with me. In fact, he was in this exact room with me, having some Uinta Cutthroat IPA. The biggest joke is she got a body count over 9,000 and says, I feel that I'm now a newborn again. Well, you know, they also have surgeries where they can sew up the vagina again. I'm on Rumble. I don't know how to do that. I got to ask one of these guys how they do it. I should do that. I don't know how it works. Somebody give me some advice. Send me an email. I guess I can figure it out. Did you hear about the explosions at Yellowstone? I did not. I know somebody drove into the Old Faithful geyser and like critical burns everywhere. Crazy. Well, the El Salvador president's interesting. Yeah, he cleaned up. I'll go to El Salvador today. 5 years ago, I wouldn't. You'd get killed. He cleaned it up, but what is his intentions and his motives? I mean, he's kind of a benevolent dictator in a sort of way. Is there democracy there? I mean, 80% apparently voted for him. I mean, he's cleaned it up a lot. Who knows? Hitler did a lot of great things for Germany before he went nuts. He created the Volkswagen and Fanta Cola. You can bet the left is up to something. Their mindset is Trump getting back in is not even an option. Yeah, they're crazy. Well said, Jason. Yeah, I'll have to ask Hammer. Only get married if you find a unicorn. Don't go to Philippines. Pinoys. I don't recommend marriage to anybody. Yeah, the Kanye thing's interesting too. We haven't heard much about him, although he married another Kim Kardashian lookalike. Yeah, we don't know about. Again, I think the guy was grown in a lab and he was placed in 2007 out of nowhere. Nobody knows where he came from. No friends from 6th grade. Yeah, we robbed the local 7-Eleven for a pack of gum and a Slurpee. You know, it's crazy. Sadly, modern women are getting worse. Do not marry, says Timmy Kramer. Well said. Old Faithful is not named after a woman. Marriage is only for sex-addicted men who can't get no woman. They paid for stinky box. I was fortunate that the ex, she did not have the odors that she had a very nice, clean box. 100 years ago, they calculated polls based upon who would show up to see candidates. In 2020, a man in the basement beats a man filling up again. Hayden Biden. Is that what Trump called him? The only thing Obama did right was the cages down at the border. Big Chris. And they deny that too. Rev, you got to go down to Timmy's place in Phoenix, and you guys go to Scottsdale, find some of these old plastic surgery prunes. So could you imagine Kamala as Prez, and we're on the brink of WW3, and she's cackling about it? They don't like her. You know, the Democratic Party does not like Kamala. They do not like her. They like her because she has a vagina right now. And she is multiracial. Like if you even, I even stumble sometimes. If I say the word race, like I feel like I'm being labeled a racist because you use the word race. But we're all of different races. Who cares? A friend of mine has a home on MV, and he met Bill and Hillary and had books signed by them. I saw the books at his house and wanted to burn them. A buddy of mine has a book written by Michelle Obama, or his wife does, on their coffee table. I would like to burn that one too. Word to you younger guys, if a woman smells down there, be like Pink Floyd and run like hell. Run. Yeah, it's not going to last. Again, Trump has a very strong machine running, which would they pull out sound bites from fourth grade trumpet lessons. Old Faithful erupts about every 90 minutes, plus or minus 40. That's off by as much as 50%, just like a woman. Here you go, George. JC from Texas. Ben Affleck is getting divorced, fleeced as we speak. Again, he's a liberal too. He's a liberal guy out of Massachusetts. Has 150 million? He's a Clooneyite. I asked a liberal friend of mine, so Kamala is not part of the Biden administration? She's acting like she's president now. She's a terrible liar. She gives herself away by giggling. Well, she's nervous. Everybody has said, I listen to Ben Shapiro. I listen to Peter Schiff, Charlie Kirk, Michael Savage, Hannity, Hugh Hewitt, and just to see their takes. And they're like, this chick is nervous. That's why she cackles. So stupid. She's a nervous woman. She's not competent. Tulsi Gabbard, is 20 years younger than her, 16 years younger than her. And what a difference that gal is. Ben Affleck did a Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, that was actually a funny thing. He's done some good movies, but he's a lib. I don't like him because he's Ben Affleck. I like him because he plays good roles. Well, he's played some good roles. I like that movie, The Accountant. I thought that was a good movie. Gone Girl, another good one. And the one he just did with that girlfriend of his, the chick from Cuba, Ana de Armas. That was a good one. Something water, shallow water. I can't remember. And she, again, female relationships. So that's the reality. What are the predictions? It'll be a shit show regardless of who wins. We know that. The left is going to go nuts if Donald wins, and the right is going to believe that there's a potential of 1862. Fortunately, it really sucks. It wasn't until like 4 years ago I started having the thoughts that I need to leave my own country because I'm not treated right here. Straight white male and the boogeyman of society. I think a lot of guys think that. Hawaii burns to the ground and Biden does nothing and people will go vote Democrat there. Unreal. We know what happened in Maui. We know what happened. They got some weird technology that can create diversions and certain weather systems. You think the weather is not controlled? Think again, friends. I have not nutted, nor do I blank to porn. Waste of time. Good for you. Keep your power within. I agree with that statement, George. There's something fishy. Some of those homes were unscathed. Interesting. But they gave $700 to each resident in Maui, and they give $10,000 for each illegal coming through. How does that work again? They do not like Americans. They do not like their country. They will do everything in their power to destroy it. That's another prediction. They will continue to push the wokeness until the people that have been pushed have had enough. And you're seeing it now mainstream. Joe Rogan's talking about this anti-woke shit. Kid Rock, Bill Maher, everybody is coming out saying enough is enough. And with the whole Bud Light thing, the whole Target thing, they need to go back to their basements and write their manifestos if they want. Walk carefully with the Scottsdale ladies. Yes, she sure said that. Now, who's going to pay for that? Oh, we are. We are. If they believe slavery went away, it didn't. We're all indentured servants. We pay taxes. We work 5 months out of the year for free to give money to insane wars, overspending of government, pork, and allowing illegal. Look, my heart feels bad for illegal immigrants that have no place, but they need to come here orderly and legally. Get in line, fill out the paperwork, go through the process. That's how we're all immigrants, or immigrant blood. We all went through, what was the island where everybody's name got changed? You know, what's that freaking deal in New York? Everybody got there and they went through it. Immigration, they got processed. They got their names changed. They got whatever. They had to learn English. JW says the mask is slipping on Ellis Island. There you go. Thanks for that, George. If you like blues, check this out. Burnside, Just Like a Woman. I'll check it out, Rev. Yeah, Ellis Island. Traditional foreign Asian women are my absolute weakness, but they do like black men the same way they like white men. So not all hope is lost. Apparently, Japan is paying black men to go there to impregnate and marry Japanese women on huge incentives because their population is dwindling. Within 40 years, Japan will probably be a different country based on their birth rate. So they are now literally a PSA announcement, especially for black men, to go to Japan. Ellis Island, you guys got it right. We should do a trivia night sometime. There you go. But yeah, that's the reality. We're again, men, be minimalistic. How you live. Don't have a lot of shit. You don't need a lot of shit. If you have a lot of shit, get rid of a lot of shit. That's just funny. If you have a lot of shit, get rid of a lot of shit. Don't buy a lot of shit, but get rid of a lot of shit. Learn skills. Learn how to cook. Learn how to eat tuna. Learn saltines. Saltines. I listened to a survival guy years ago. You can go buy, Costco sells things, 75, 150 meals for, I don't know, $100 or something that'll last 25 years. That's a great option. But again, you're going to have to, haul it. What if there's no cars to haul it? You're going to haul it in a little red wagon? Or you have a bug out zone where you keep it, right? Or you hide the damn thing around somewhere in different areas. Or you have easy things like saltines and peanut butter. Apparently, you can maintain yourself based on the sodium and fat content and the little bit of carbs and protein. He says that is the best survival food ever, saltines and peanut butter. Again, water, there's something you can buy called the Life Straw. It's online, $20, and it filters water. You can get yourself 8-10 ounces whenever you need from any pond, any river, what have you. So you have water, fresh water to drink. That's good. You want matches, of course. I would give yourself flint and steel. You know how to work with flint and steel in case your matches. But it's certain things. Rope. Obviously, you want some sort of rope. Some sort of rain poncho. You can buy them in little squares. Potential. Maybe some heating things for your gloves if you need heat. Things like that. Have a bicycle. Bicycles will not be affected by a EMP attack on our grid. Our cars will. Anything earlier before the 70s that didn't really have electronics, but all the electronics now will be friggin' bamboozled. Everything's electric, transmissions and so forth, all these modern cars. So apparently I heard the rich guys are buying old 60s, 70s cars because of the potential of an EMP attack. They can still drive the damn thing, based on those basic engines and transmissions. Yeah, they do. They do practice minimalization in Japan. Yeah, that will probably be a crime. What's another thing? So a bicycle, having a bicycle, extra, and if you have a bicycle, extra tires, maybe an extra chain. But other than that, you should be good to go. Maybe a skateboard. The problem with the skateboard is they can hear you skateboarding, but at least you have something. Or even a wagon to pull shit if you need to. Yeah, George, I don't know if it'd go for 2.5 years, but let's just say 6 months to a year having those things. I mean, if you are in survival mode, and it could be, the powdered milk is good, eggs, potato, yeah, powdered stuff is good. It's light. You don't need to carry water. You can have water wherever you're at to put that in. And there's a lot of great YouTube videos. There's that one guy, I think he's in Scandinavia, and I don't think he ever talks. He's got like 2 million subscribers. He's showing how to build, camps and little huts and cooking and so forth. A pound of peanut butter has 2,100 calories and assorted nutrients and protein. A pound of sugar is less than peanut and no protein or other nutrient. There you go. Rad was out with some friends last night and was told about a music store owner retiring. I was thinking about looking at the books and seeing if it was worth looking at with other investors. Unless you do it for no money, I don't know. I think the music business is not a business I would get into. Unless it has some niche and it's completely rare. But probably more for the love of music, right? I don't know, maybe you have a little coffee shop and bring in like open mic night. People play their bass and Korg synthesizers. I watched this guy eat ground beef, eggs, and bacon and lost 160 his labs. Yeah, we are meat eaters, guys. We are not vegetarians or vegans. I mean, I've watched a lot of carnivore videos. I think a carnivore diet would be great for me. It's probably unsustainable long term, just because I like chips and salsa. I'm not going to go my life, and I still feel pretty good. But I think, going cycles with carnivore and pure animal products will do wonders for your health. They're saying so many ailments are caused by processed foods and seed oils and shit like that. And if you invest in food, don't tell people you got food. Say you have no money. Again, another way to avoid the apocalypse is live under the radar. Be that crazy homeless man that no one's going to mess with. Don't act like you have anything. Tell people you're dirt poor. Make sure that people don't want to deal with you. I was looking at the local stores around Boston. They all have an online store on Reverb and Sweetwater. Don't think the margins are great. Yeah, I wouldn't do it. Anything that's brick and mortar, I wouldn't buy. Pound of pemmican is 4,500 calories, says, did I say that right? Pemmican? Mouth agape. Well said, brother. Yeah, if you needed the most nutrient-rich foods that you could throw in a backpack that could sustain you 1 to 2 weeks, what would you put in? Peanut butter being one of them? Tuna? Pemmican? When shit hits the fan, it's amazing how quickly the ladies aren't so strong, independent, and empowered anymore. Well, let's just start nagging for food and complaining. Right, Jason? So cringeworthy having a coworker who has a rock band. They play their music for you and you just want to jump out of a window. They want you to tell them it's really good. But their songs are probably really long with multiple verses and no bridges. The most basic songs that are the most popular songs, and I'm off topic here, AC/DC, 3 chords, 2 verses, 2 choruses, 1 bridge. Back to the chorus, it's over. It's really not hard. And AI is creating music now. Go figure. A friend of mine has millions and walks around like he is a homeless man. I tell him when he drives around in his Mercedes, the police are going to arrest him because they look like he stole the car. Could be. I mean, the reality is this. Don't look like you have anything. Act crazy. Nobody wants to mess with the crazy guy. Right? Mal says pemmican is meat and fat, ultimate survival food. It kept trappers and Indians alive. What about ghee? What are your thoughts on ghee? Your body knows what it needs, and this is where your food preference appetite originates. There you go, JC. And I like avocados too. Brad, the Haktua girl is hated by folks. Of course. Sammy was in town last night. There's only one way to rock. The red rocker for 300. Eggs are complete protein. I love eggs. Hard boiled, sunny side up, scrambled, omelets. They are the number one, the best food ever. Well said, George. Yeah, and powdered eggs, right? Beef jerky, crackers, fermented cheese for traveling. There you go, Big Chris. Megatron says, attaboy, survival skills and street smarts will outsmart a crazy guy. Yep. Avocados for everyone. You know, I'm an Eagle Scout. I love Boy Scouts. Did a lot of great stuff back before it was all, well, there's perverts in my day, but luckily my troop didn't have any of them that I knew of. We had some really good leaders, and we went all over the place. Canada, 7-day canoe trip, Lake Bowron up in Canada, if anybody knows that. Good to see Arvero back. And you lived off dried food, you know. Freeze-dried food. We made our own freeze-dried food. We purified water from the lakes. As a 12-year-old, 13-year-old boy, I learned to shit. I prefer scrambled eggs. I like scrambled eggs with pepper, salsa, sriracha. My brother-in-law has 30 chickens, and my nephew has about 15 chickens and duck. I have not bought eggs in that boy. And those are organic. I can't do MREs. I have stomach problems. Ah, gotcha. Well, don't MREs have a shit ton of sodium in it? So, Rad, I don't know what that is. You ain't? Pemmican can be keistered in a baggie too for 500. There you go. What about, have you ever seen those like prison shorts where these guys are like telling you how to make lasagna from Fritos and beef jerky? I think that's you know, those guys that have been able to do that kind of stuff. That's the geniusness of what you need to, the simplicity and the minimalism that we need to think. We only had maybe a month supply one mighty. My parents, we had a 2-year supply. And then, you know, we never used them, and they were bushels of wheat and rice and dried powdered everything. And then 20 years later, my dad opened them up full of bugs. But if we needed to eat, we had something to eat. Timmy says don't mess with Timmy. He's a broke, bald bastard, and he's crazy. The arena where he's going to speak. Right now, is he speaking tonight? I do like his speeches. I think he's very well. I think he does great speeches. I don't know. He definitely is revered by his base. I like the guy. I like the fact that, is he perfect? No. He's done, you know, but he's Trump. He is a leader. They don't like him because he goes against everything that Washington stands for. Washington wants us in debt. The establishment wants us in debt. They want us to pay alimony. They want us to be divorce fleeced. They don't want us to have retirement. They want us to work our asses off, and then we die 6 months later when we retire, and they don't have to pay Social Security. Trump wants to change that. He wants to bring the power back to people. But he's up against a cabal that's been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years. If you want to go back to the Bilderbergs, the Illuminati, that's real shit. Five families run this world. They've run it for since before Jesus' time. George says, I saw a video that you can make a great pizza dough with just rising flour and Greek yogurt. Just this kind of stuff. Try to find that video, George. Send it over to me. He's fun when he goes off script. Yeah, but I think again he needs to keep to the issues, keep to the failures of the Biden administration, and just just get everybody aware of that radical wacko. But it'll come down, and he's a misogynist and all this crap. You can't. The left has a recipe. I will say that the left is quite organized, though. Because why are they so organized? Because they don't work and they take from others. While as the conservative side works and tries to build businesses and pay their taxes and be part of their community, these libtards don't work, and so they spend all their time on forums and chat rooms and so forth. I'm going to see the Stray Cats in a couple weeks, and that's one of my bucket lists. And I will see Keane, a band from England, in September. I saw Echo and the Bunnymen last month, and I said, who did I see this month? In June, I saw Matt Kearney. It's simple. The younger a man's age at retirement, the longer he lives. I heard that. Yep, Arvero. It's expensive everywhere, man. I would love to know a cheap, economical way to make my own delicious jerky. That's something I want to do soon. Buy a quarter of a cow. Go find a farmer. Go find 3 other families that want to split up a cow. I don't know, $600 or $800 for the cow. Or maybe 1,000. You split it up. You get 300 pounds of meat for $300 or whatever. I don't know, maybe more. I knew a family that did this, and they made their own jerky. And they dried it, whatever. I would love to know a cheap economic. Yep, there you go. Go buy a cow. Mars Lell. And farmers will sell you a cow, and they'll have it slaughtered and packaged and everything for you. Rod, you and the family ever attend the Hill Cumorah? Nope. Never went. I think my brother might have gone. We never went. Cooking with Shotgun Red, fabulous pizza dough with just 2 ingredients from 6 years ago. Okay. I will look that up. That sounds great. Love the Stray Cats. They were the 80s Green Day. Stray Cats were great. The problem with Green Day now, well, they're all libs, but that Billy Joe, he's Skittles, half Skittles apparently, and he's a total lib, and he talks about he should play his music and not talk about anything. And I have some Green Day. I don't really listen to it anymore because it just repulses me, the dude. I think one extra thing that has it clenched for Trump as he's pro-crypto, and I think he's speaking it. Yes. Didn't he speak today? Yeah, and another brilliant thing is no taxes on tips. Huge. Huge. Again, how is a tip income? They're already making an hourly wage of some sort. A tip is not income. A tip is an appreciation. Stray Cat Strut's a great song. Mars, yeah, I'm sure you're going to see that around. Absolutely. Do you know what TIP stands for? To ensure promptness. Tips were normally paid before the dinner. And then it became at the end. But to ensure promptness. George Orwell, I think you're right, brother, especially with the casinos. That's a brilliant move by him. FJT is back. Good to see FJT or Giga Chad. He's probably got 3 voicemails today from a Filipina, a Cambodian, and a Muslim. Arvera, there you go. Tip and cash, brother. What draws you into music? For me, it's a horn or guitar riff. Yeah, guitar. It's interesting. There's certain music out there where, let's say you love blues rock and you just love all sorts like AC/DC blues rock and then butt rock, but there's always like 4 basic chords that you love. I like B minor chords for me are like C sharp minor, C minors, G minors. I love the minor chords for some reason. So go look at your music and like the top 5 bands, find out their chord structure, like what their notes are. I guarantee there's a common link. Exactly, Jaja. Good to see you. I haven't seen you for a while. Glad that you're here. A tip is not income. It's totally insane. It's not. You don't earn a tip. Well, I guess you do earn a tip. You're actually given a tip based on but you're earning your income is based on your hourly wage or your salary. Have you ever visited Israel? I have not. I would like to go. Heard it's beautiful, great food. Would love to go swim in that, what's the sea where Jesus baptized, or got baptized? Was it, or something, walked on water? Tip can also, to ensure Pussycat. There you go. Love AC/DC and Zeppelin and Van Halen. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those bands, you'd be surprised the connections of why we like I like Morrissey, the Smiths, a lot of bands like that. And I come to realize that they use a lot of B minor chords, a lot of very similar chord structure. Coldplay uses a lot of similar chords in most of their songs. If you're a Coldplay fan. Arvero from Canada likes Saga, Boston, April, Winehouse, Supertramp. There you go. Are you saying Bob Saga? Saga, I don't know who that. Boston, great band. Did wait tables in your youth? Did I wait tables? I did not. Although I was a busboy and I earned tips back in the day. I remember as 15 getting like $20 in ones back in the day. I had so much cash rolling around. It was great. Could buy my skateboards, fill my gas up, got buy nachos, soda pops. Trump is a Zionist, blank, blank. My prediction, him and the Little Hats try to bring the USA into global with. I don't think he wants any war. No voicemails today, but recently I cut off a Latina for doing too much, and 5 minutes ago I got off a video call with a Brazilian girl. There you go. Beach Boy chords are extremely. Their songs are quite intricate. They have the hardest chords. Them and the Beatles. Mega says, I dig the Cult. Stone Temple, Pilots, and Rush. I like that. Yeah, I like Scott Weiland's sound. I like their first Stone Temples with Push or Plush. Wicked Garden. He wants $1 backed by Bitcoin. I mean, well, it can't be backed by gold anymore. We're off the gold standard. But then again, I understand Bitcoin. I own Bitcoin. But the problem with Bitcoin is it's a digital currency. I mean, it's traceable. It's transparent, which is a good thing. It's backed by something. But, I mean, it's only been around for 12 years. It's got to go through a significant amount of economic instability and stability to be considered a proven asset. The dips are too big. I mean, it was at 70, then it went to 20, then 50, then 30. I mean, yeah, it'll probably go higher and higher, but it's going to drop too. Your first job, you served Steve Jobs burritos in Salem, Oregon. Salem's such a shit show. Used to go down there for work, Salem Hospital all the time. Interesting. Well, he did go to Lewis and Clark Law School down in Portland, total libtard school. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock. Oh, April Wine. You know who I like from Canada? Grapes of Wrath. Who's the other big band? Grapes of Wrath were really good, but there's another really cool. Memphis, they're from Stars. What am I thinking? Another band like Grapes of Wrath. It's on the tip of my tongue. Big band. Tell me who they are. Not Rush. Grapes of Wrath. What's the other one? I have their cassette. But Grapes of Wrath, the lead singer died. Didn't he die like 2 years ago? Rest in peace. There's some good music out there, you know. There's another thing. What are you going to do with all the time when there's no entertainment? Learn how to play guitar. Learn how to play something, you know. Sing songs. Learn songs, you know. The Tragically Hip. That's it. Mysterio gets it. The Tragically Hip. Those guys are cool too. Yeah, looks like Mysterio calls them the Hip. The Tragically Hip. I think Triumph was from Canada and Anvil was too, weren't they? Yep. That's what I was thinking. Grapes of Wrath, Tragically Hip. For some reason, I've got a Biden moment right now. So that's the reality, guys. I mean, we are in a world of potential calamity, if not in calamity itself. It's just right now our eyes have not opened up to it, but we're going to see some shit come down in the next 100 days. I don't doubt if there will be some sort of flagged event. Could be fake news will probably say something that'll cause something. We don't know. There could be another deletion attempt that could take him out. I think Biden might pass away, has the potential of passing away, and which will install Heels Up Harris in the office, cackling, of course, and inviting Jay-Z and Beyonce and all those wackos. But you're also seeing a lot of these rappers coming out against Heels Up Harris. 70s Rush is their best stuff. I did like, what's the one with the Presto? I did like Presto. Show Me, Don't Tell Me. That's a great song. But yeah, rest in peace to Neil Peart. And that guy suffered, losing his wife and kid. But respect. I mean, he died young too. But yeah, I mean, have some music. Have a book available in your backpack. Book of philosophy, book of something. Keep yourself entertained. Learn how to work with your hands. Have a nice little tool set. It's got one of those all-in-one screwdrivers and Allen wrenches and shit like that. They keep talking about it. You know what I think? I also think my conspiracy head that thinks that a couple of you guys said this, that they will most likely there's going to be an overthrow of the convention, and she will not be. And some people think it will be Hillary, which Trump already destroyed Hillary the first time. How elite should the SS be? Interesting question. Well, I always thought that these guys knew everything, that they were basically the SEALs, the FBI, the CIA, all in one. They were that good, but apparently not. They've had how many presidents taken out? Abraham Lincoln was taken out, right? By John Wilkes Booth. MLK was taken out. Again, not a president, but same group of people. Bob Marley potentially taken out. They say he died of cancer, but you never know. Jim Morrison taken out. Apparently he died really quickly, but that could have been part of, he had some anti-government sentiments. You never know. Then you got Reagan, you got JFK, you got RFK. Now Trump. I mean, who would have thought? I never thought that there would be. I never thought what I would have seen 2 weeks ago. Was it Sunday or Saturday? I can't remember. No, I think it was Saturday, right? I cannot believe that happened in my lifetime. Now, if I was a betting man, I don't think that would have happened. I mean, one man died, 2 others were injured. Trump got an ear pierce, a potential deletion. I think they're going to continue to try. I wouldn't be surprised. I hope he gets his own security detail, like literally old ex-Navy SEALs. Apparently, there's a whole gang. You're right, Jaja. It's going to get wild. Gerald, good to see you, brother. Apparently, a lot of these Hell's Angels are wanting to defend, as they did the Patriots, that, when they would show up at funerals and guard against the whacked out Antifas and stuff. But I think you're going to see more and more motorcycle gangs protecting. Now, there could be an infiltrator there too. I hope he gets the right guys. I would be, man, can you imagine being Trump? You have no idea who's on your side. Thanks, Ty, for being here. Definitely, brother. You don't want to be on Hillary's list. No, you don't. No, you don't, man. The Clintons are responsible for how many deletions? It's over 100. maybe less than 1 million. But that's reality. I don't know. I like what Trump did for the economy. We were safe back in the day. Is there anybody? But we don't know. I mean, look, none of us are in the inner circles. But I think we have more of the potential of having stability under Trump than anybody else. But I don't know. I don't know who. Well, who would you like, Jaja? Are you more of a libertarian, constitutionalist? Stoke a bonfire while listening to Sepultura. Sepultura from Brazil. CIA. Garbage Day 99 is back. Good to see you. Yeah, I mean, there's shit going on that we don't know. We don't know. There's deals being done. There's diversion tactics. There's false flags. I mean, if you really want, go listen to Alex Jones. Alex Jones would call out perpetrators, but who knows? I mean, is Alex Jones part of them? I mean, everybody, you could be part of it. You could be a plan anywhere. I mean, if we just don't know. Here's what I do know. You get married, you're going to suffer for the majority of men. You get married, your odds of getting divorced are extremely high. You get married and divorced, your odds of being virtually deleted or deleted, self-deleted, are very high. I do know that if you get married and have kids and you get divorced, the odds of you getting to see your kids as much as you want diminish. I do know that men are not respected in society anymore. Those are the things I do know. But when it comes to government, sure, a lot of us are red pill and we follow conservative values and so forth. Minimalistic living is a more conservative way of living. Not spending money, not going into debt, buying valuable and quality items that will last. Right? That's a conservative value. But those are the things I do know. Oh, and I also know that if you do get married and do go through a divorce, there is a way that you can have a great life if you embrace the reality, not the fantasy. Thief says he wants to get married to a woman in her 50s or 60s. I'm sure there are many that you could get with. You probably would not have to deal with, hopefully, no money issues. If she has her own money, fine. If anything, go marry an older woman that's got a shit ton of money. Right? You're still going to deal with the female brain, but and you don't have any money. Just flip it around. Getting married is about the equivalent of being on Hillary's list, Jason Reed. Hillary, man, is she just not the most unattractive woman you've ever seen or heard speak? Can you imagine Bill Clinton being married to that? And how nagging, and she has a masculine voice. He's got to I doubt if they even live in the same house. I don't think they've been married physically ever since they were married. I think it's just on paper. I could use a real bear hug. There you go. Bear rug. Ooh. Keep you warm. Jeremiah Johnson for 300. He wears a bear jacket in that movie. Anyone see Jeremiah Johnson? Hillary Hillbilly video is hilarious. There you go. And why do they call everybody MAGAs? They're so bad. Like, seriously? Why would making America great again? What's wrong with that? Again, it's the narrative. We're all considered wackos. Do you think it's hard to make people laugh? Yes. You have to. I think being a comic, you have to I think they're very good at what they do, and they know people, and their personalities has to be spot on. That was what a lot of guys did in the past. Marry the rich widow, get her estate when she dies. I doubt it would work these days. Probably not. Good to see you, Sotnar. You are a conservative. I don't think there's a political solution. Prepare for balkanization. Many rich learn to love. Other than that, don't get married. Well said. I had a buddy that hated Trump for so long. Now he's on the Trump train because there's really no. We really don't have many options. It's a two-party system, unfortunately. Good to see Jerron Markell from Brooklyn. What's up to you, brother? Glad you are here. You're 100% right, Christian. Bill Clinton was more conservative than most Republicans in Congress today. Go figure. Go think about that one. Jeremiah Johnson is one of my favorite movies. It's a great movie. And all the Indians in that movie were whites painted with different colors. Good to see you. John Markell, a black man that loves Trump in Brooklyn. Jerron Markell, blasphemous. He has a huge contingent. You know who doesn't like him? Black, liberal, feminist, coochie mamas, mouthy women, and their simped husbands. But real men, real black men, love Trump. Unfortunately, whether Trump wins or loses the fall of Rome, it's already happened. And I did watch that video. The fall of Rome has already happened, folks. Now the pendulum is swinging away. The people are sick of the anti-woke. They're sick of the liberalism that's destroyed our schools. People are pushing back. They're pissed off about it. Is it going to do anything? Who knows? Who knows? Yeah, if United States falls, let's just say this, it's going to have impact on every country out there. Now, and I'm not saying your countries aren't great. I love other countries. I think other countries are amazing. I want to live in another country. I am going to live in Latin America. But they also depend on the United States. There are many countries that use the United States dollar as their own currency. 6-year-old woman approached you at Kroger's. If you needed help putting my groceries in the car. Oh, geez. Well, good for you, man. Yeah, you don't want to be me too. Roses are red, camel toeing, black, corn pop is dementia, 100 on crack. I love it. I love it. That should be the new Haktua. FJT says, I laugh when I hear men say things like, I just got married, my wife is different. Don't give up, guys. You got to find the one. Everyone thinks their marriage will last forever and their girl is no out. Sure. It's the fantasy. It's the curiosity of marriage that makes men pick wrongly. You are a black Trump supporter. Sure. Yeah, we love Jerron Markell in here. And I happen to agree, I'm not a fan of this at all, but we have to know the American Roman Empire. Well, what do they say after 250 years, societies crumble? How long has America been around? 250? In 1776 to 2026? Yeah, 250 years, right? She does have a nice rack. I'll give you that. She sure does. Guys, it's been a great stream. I'm going to cut it. I want you guys to go have fun and learn some survival skills. I will check out that pizza making part from George, and I appreciate you guys being here. Till next time, if there is a next time, rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and of course, men first. I'm out.